This video is made possible by my patrons on Patreon. Hello everyone, my name is Ziamaro and welcome to Battlerite Sage. It's time again to get back to basics. You thought there weren't any more basics to learn, but there's more! Today we're going to learn about zoning. This video was actually suggested to me by Fozzin on Patreon and I think it's a really good topic. So let's start by asking the question, what is zoning? Zoning is a term that is used in lots of different games, and I'm pretty sure it was originally a fighting game term, but you see it used in MMOs, MOBAs, and even shooters. The simplest way of explaining it is forcing an enemy to stay at a distance. An example of zoning would be keeping the enemy in the outer area of the arena so you can secure the orb more easily. This is probably the most common use for zoning in Battlerite. Zoning is a super important concept to understand in almost any game, so what you learn here can actually be applied to other games too. If you can force your enemy to go where you want them to go, then that gives you so much more control and flexibility over your strategy. So, why should you zone your enemy? Well, in any objective-based game, zoning is useful for securing objectives. In a game like Counter-Strike or Overwatch, zoning might mean keeping the enemy away long enough to plant the bomb or capture the point. In a MOBA, it might be to keep the enemy in lane while you kill a boss. Okay, that example might suck because I don't really play MOBAs, but maybe someone can give me a better example of zoning in MOBAs in the comments. In Battlerite, it usually means central control. The center of the map has numerous advantages. You have easy access to the rest of the map, and most importantly, all the orbs spawn in the middle. Another reason you might want to zone someone is to keep them at a distance that is favorable to you. This is more similar to zoning in fighting games. If you're playing Jade, Alicia, or Hanzo, Jabong, then you'll want to keep people at a distance. All of those champions have very long range abilities, so if you can keep people at a distance, you're very likely to outtrade them. If you're Alicia and you constantly keep Rook at your maximum range, he can't really do much to you, but you can carry on dealing full damage. Finally, you can use zoning defensively. If you or one of your teammates is under pressure, you can utilize zoning to create some breathing room. Okay, Zio, you've persuaded me. Zoning is important, but how do you zone someone? Well, the short answer is abilities. The longer answer is this. Some champions are better suited to zoning than others, but everyone can do it to some extent. The easiest way to understand how to zone someone is to reverse the situation. When do you feel the need to back off? Maybe when an aggressive melee champion gets in your face? Maybe when Jade charges up a snipe? Alicia's flash freeze or Jamong's rain of arrows perhaps? All of those things can force you to move in one way or another. Most melee champions are pretty good at zoning the enemy. It's one of the reasons why a balanced comp is so strong. An all-ranged comp can have its advantages, but it can be hard to make space and control the middle with an all-ranged comp. Melee champions can usually zone the enemy literally just by doing their job. If you play aggressively enough, it will always force the enemy to play a little more defensively. The threat of being crushed by Rook is enough to make you get out of the way. As far as ranged champions are concerned, it's mostly your AoEs and snipes that will zone people. Even cancel casting things like Snipe, Chaos Grip, or Charge Bolt can make the enemy fall back sometimes. The threat of being hit by a snipe is enough to make the enemy do something. If you throw an AoE like Ashka's stun into a choke point, that will make people think twice before passing through as well. You can also physically zone people by body blocking or using pushback abilities. Let's say the enemy is trying to get out of a Lucy ultimate, which incidentally is also a very strong zoning tool. You can just stand in their path so they can't get out. But there are abilities that can physically displace or block people as well. Clarity Potion and Junk Shot can push people back. Pearl's Bubbles push back and slow people who try to walk through. Destiny's Wall used to be able to root people, but it got nerfed for obvious reasons, and that was one of the strongest zoning tools in the game at one point. Body blocking is kind of the outer limit of what most people would consider zoning, but it is a tool you have in your kit. All in all, if you want to learn more about zoning, my best recommendation is to reverse the situation as I mentioned before. Take a mental note of which abilities and situations force you to fall back or move, and then imitate that. If you can apply critical thinking, it will serve you very well for anything the game throws at you in the future. Nerfs, buffs, new champions. If you can learn how to learn, then you'll always stay ahead of the curve. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please feel free to subscribe for more Battlerite guides, news, and discussion. If you'd like to help support the channel and get some unique rewards, then head over to patreon.com/battleritesage. And don't forget to check out twitch.tv/battleritesage. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.